Hello everybody, I am Charlie Morley, and yes, I am aware I look like Frankie de Jong, and that is thanks to everyone in the United Stand comments telling me this on a continual basis. But in fact, there is one similarity between me and Frankie de Jong, and that is our unbelievable hair. You may have noticed that since I joined the United Stand, my hair has looked even more on point, and that is in fact because Wash and Go have sent me, well, too many bottles of Wash and Go. So before you enjoy this clip, head down into the link in the description, pick yourself up a bottle of Wash and Go today.
Club. It's just about the money. It's not about the love, and that's why we fail. Anyway, let's get involved with the show. Where should we start off with? There's three big topics this morning: Ronaldo, Antony, and de Jong. I tell you, I'll start off with Antony. We'll start off with Antony because I suppose it's the most recent update. So, look, I put a tweet out last night saying that Antony I can't remember what it was, I'd had a few beers, but I said something about Antony, Manchester United, and I think about an hour after that, there was a journalist, was it Sam Pilger, who said the same sort of thing. I thought, well, you know, he's either copying me or he's got the same information. So Man United are negotiating for Antony, and I think as a Manchester United fan, you've got every right to expect that deal to be done when the club is negotiating with a player that the manager wants and the player wants to come to us. Of course, this is why I'm 50-50 on Antony. There was a time when I was 80%, but since Ajax overcharged us for Lisandro Martinez, I'm a realist and I'm like, well, yeah, the player's desperate to come to us. Time to take action against these and remove these cretins, says Marco, fair point. The club is a complete laughingstock, says Scott Castle. But I do think that, well, I know that Ten Hag is desperate for Antony. I know that Antony is desperate to come to Manchester United, and I know that we're negotiating with them. But overnight, we've had three big updates. Some of them coming in from Mike Verwey, who's the Ajax journalist, but some of them coming in from the actual club. The manager himself of Ajax has changed his point of view. He's now saying, you know, we don't want to sell him, but I realise anything can happen at this club. Same thing coming out of Ajax. But then this morning, we've had that they've upped the price from 80 million euros to 100 million euros. So this is why I'm 50-50 on Antony. You've got a club that will sell in Ajax. You've got a manager that wants him in Ten Hag. And you've got a player that wants to come to us. But the problem and the reason I started the video the way I did is the owners is John Murta and it's Richard Arnold. Every transfer that we I'm not going to swear on a morning show. Every transfer that we mess up is because of them. Perisic, years ago, Mourinho wanted him, Inter wanted to sell, and Perisic wanted to come to us. I think he would have been a revolution, and he never came because the club messed it up. And that is why I cannot say that Antony is a 90% deal or anything like that, because everything that will go wrong with this deal will be because of John Murta and Richard Arnold. A situation where Ajax will sell, where the player wants to come and the manager really wants him and you don't sign the player. Well, it'll be because of the negotiations. And this is it. I'll go back to what I said at the start of the video. The reason we fail is because we have people in charge who are not you and they're not me. They're not Manchester United fans. They're business people. And business people look at bottom lines. Business people look at revenues and, you know, market functionality and projected profits. They don't look at, I'm a Man United fan, get me that player, which is what a lot of our rivals do, and it's why we will always fail, because we never look at it from a footballing point of view, we look at it from a business point of view. So do I think we'll get Antony? I think that it's a mess. And look, I'm fed up of getting told stuff, and then the next day it becomes relevant. Like, I was told on, was it Monday morning, about the Ronaldo chat, and lo and behold, it happened. And I was talking yesterday about there's people within Man United who are good people who are very, very, very fed up with the way the transfer window's gone and the incompetence. And, you know, I've had people say to me, it's no better than what it was under Woodward and Judge. In fact, I think it's worse personally. So, you know, now that's coming out, isn't it? It's coming out again that the transfer window is a total mess. It is an absolute mess. You have got Antony, who is a player that we should have been buying in mid-June, that we haven't even bought by the end of July, and the price has gone up by 25%. Lisandro Martinez should have been bought in mid-June. His price went up by 10 million euros when we bought him in mid-July. So Frankie de Jong, all summer, the focus. Cristiano Ronaldo, tense talks, angry talks. We'll talk about that in a minute. It is a mess. And yet I'm looking at social media last night. All right, I'm a few beers down. Could have had Antony for 40 to 50 million if we didn't mess up the start of the transfer window, says Dazzo. Exactly. I'm looking on social media last night, and it's a wash with these bloody Glazerites with their stats. Oh, Eriksen's got as good stats as Kevin De Bruyne. 21's on the download. I've run the stats through the system, and Christian Eriksen is going to be the key to number 21. Back on my computer to look at porn. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? If Christian Eriksen, who I can't wait to see play for Manchester United, is such a good signing, then why does nobody else want him? Mikel Roach, thank you very much. Apart from Brentford. Mark, why don't you buy a centre-back to replace Maguire? CEO makes promises in a pub. Chaos ensues, says Tim. But look, I really do like Christian Eriksen, but I also feel there's a responsibility. Like these people who are hyping up Eriksen, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Eriksen, but for me, he's a bonus signing. He's a free signing. That is not the signing to build your summer around. We're not bloody Stoke. These are the sort of deals Stoke used to do when they were in the bloody Premier League. Oh, a free transfer. Oh, remember that lad they got, Bojan from Barcelona? Yeah, we're going to challenge for Champions League now. Like, the reason they are free, well, no, not the reason they're free. That's not fair. He's free for a different reason. But the reason that they're free, we're Manchester United. We need way more than that. We're counting on you to come out, overpay for Antony. We have the replacements. Do not screw this up, says Leno. Well, the funny thing about the Antony deal, as I'm just trying to multitask here. The funny thing about the Antony deal is that he is for sale. Like, he is for sale. They were literally, I can't remember whether it was their CEO or their coach, was talking last night about this Conceição they've got in from Porto. And they're saying, the question was that they were calling him the next Messi in Portugal. And he said, well, we're not calling him the next Messi. There's no doubt he's a really talented player and he's ready to start, but he's got to compete with Antony. So they've got a ready. I mean, Ajax don't need two right wingers of that quality. So Ajax are ready to sell. The problem is that the price is 100 million euros. And if we pay, how much did we pay for Martinez? If we pay 55 million for Martinez and 100 million euros for Antony, we've spent 150 million euros on two Eredivisie players. It's a ridiculous amount of money. And look, I want us to get Antony, and effectively, I think if we can get Antony, get De Jong, and keep Ronaldo from this point, I'd probably take it. But it's a shambles of a transfer window, and I don't think whatever happens now, Murta or anyone else is going to come out of this looking good. Mark, hope you're well. Any truth on Pavard or Depay, says Mikel Roach. So we're not talking to Memphis Depay at all. There is no contact with Barcelona from Manchester United for Memphis Depay. Pavard, I hope not. I've heard absolutely nothing. The right back that we want is Dumfries from Inter, although Chelsea have now been linked to him, so we'll have to wait and see. But Antony, before we move on, I'm from LA and I'm quite afraid of Chelsea's owner because he owns the Dodgers and he doesn't mind spending. It's his trigger. Well, we've got to be careful of other clubs, of course we have. Before we move on then, Antony is basically for sale. Ajax are hinting that he's for sale. He wants to come to Manchester United, but they've upped the price to 100 million euros now as a total package, which is just ridiculous money. And it's basically because, and look, you know, let's say how it is. Manchester United's transfer window has been a disaster because we've spent all summer waiting for Frankie de Jong. And now that has meant we've neglected every other deal, and every other deal is now going to cost us more money. So explain to me for the 10th time, because I still don't understand why we've spent so much money, time wasting on him. Jonathan says, I love Ronaldo, but he needs to understand nobody else wants him. Put your socks and go back to training. I'll never understand why we spent all summer waiting on Frankie de Jong, and it's ruined everything else. You look at this week, and I predicted this as well. Matthew says, surprised Rafael Leao has been mentioned, won Serie A Player of the Year. Good player on FIFA, Matthew, but he's not been linked to us, no. I predicted this on Monday, didn't I? I said I thought this week would be the way it's gone. Ajax quoted Antony 40 to 50 million in May before they sold Haller, but our board claimed they will only look at other transfers once they've sorted out Frankie de Jong, says shove him. And that's absolutely spot on. Blame it on Ten Hag, says Roberts. Well, you know, Robert McCormack, you might not, you know, there might be people who agree with that. But, you know, just before I move on, Antony was available for about 50 million quid in May. Lisandro Martinez was available for about 35 million quid in May. We're going to pay a hell of a lot more because United focused in on Frankie de Jong. And I'll never understand why we did that, because ultimately, it's what has it borne fruit at all? No. Really not. I'm not hungover, actually. I'm not hungover. I'm absolutely fine. I had a bad night's sleep. Got a bad back, but no, I'm not. So next.